Project 2025, which I know sounds like a sexy CW sci-fi drama starring Ashanti, Chad Michael Murray and Turtle from Entourage, but incredibly, it's even worse than that.
The 2025 Presidential Transition Project
brings together conservative organizations
to ensure the policy and personnel are in place
on January 20th, 2025.
Project 2025 aims to do for Trump's whole presidency what the Federalist Society did for his judicial picks, give him a step-by-step game plan that he simply has to execute and then take credit for.
Ever felt like you're watching a reality show when you turn on the news? You're not alone. John Oliver just turned Trump's latest antics into must-see TV. But here's the kicker. While we're laughing, Trump's cooking up a plan that could change life as we know it. Stick around to find out why Oliver's jokes might just save democracy. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. In terms of spelling, Trump's tweets are comparable to the temper tantrums of a toddler. Look at this gem, for example.
The election is in full swing right now, and it's pretty much your usual campaign. Candidates offering policy proposals, trading barbs, and occasionally getting convicted of 34 felonies and complaining about the judge. Trump definitely doesn't know what the word literally means, but given his inability to talk about the Bible, it is possible that he doesn't know what crucified means either, though I could be wrong. Maybe Jesus got nailed to planks because of his hush payments to a porn star. I don't know. He is currently slightly ahead of Biden in the polls, so there is a pretty good chance he could be back in the White House next year. And given that, it's worth talking about what he plans to do if he gets there, because Trump does have a second-term platform.
Oliver is a disgrace to comedy. It is incredible that Trump capitalized the word comedy as well. When all is said and done, there is nothing that says, I am a serious politician, quite like capitalization that is left to chance, isn't it? It appears that he is making an effort to bring English back to its former glory by rearranging capital letters in a manner that is inconsistent with the language. The most unfortunate aspect, however, is that Oliver's argument is more convincingly demonstrated by the collapse of Trump than by Oliver himself. When it came to Trump, Oliver's segment appeared to be more of a checklist than a piece of advice.
More than 100 conservative organizations have come together to work on this, and they're all there. You've got the Heritage Foundation, Liberty University, the NRA, Turning Point USA, Rodeo Clowns for Trump. They've even produced a 900-page handbook on their goals, which are sweeping. It proposes dismantling NOAA, the agency that tracks hurricanes and protects marine life, because it's, quote, one of the main drivers of the climate change alarm industry. States that pornography should be outlawed and the people who produce and distribute it should be imprisoned. And these proposals are extreme because the people who wrote them are extreme.
A joke about my hair, huh? Make sure. Put my intelligence in jest, will you? Make sure. What are you saying about my delicate skin? They will notice that I have a thin skin. Now, let's take a look at some of the most ridiculous tweets that Trump has sent out. I assure you that each one is going to be more hilarious than the one before it. He appears to be competing against himself for the title of most unhinged tweet in the Twitter world. Moreover, there is a great deal of competition among people. What is the typical response that Trump gives when he is criticized? Threaten to file a lawsuit, of course. When it comes to attempting to silence your critics, nothing says I'm innocent and definitely not thin-skinned more than attempting to use legal action.
Let's try and answer a few basic questions. First, what is Donald Trump's foreign policy? Because it seems to be little more than repeating a single phrase.
America first. America first.
The only president who combines the sordid extramarital affairs of a young JFK with the dead-eyed puffiness of a post-Watergate Richard Nixon. Wow. You know, it says something about the Trump era that the phrase, "the same worms will eat him too," actually qualifies as a hopeful thought.
La la la, I can't hear you, is the equivalent of sticking your fingers in your ears. The reality is that polls are showing a slight shift away from Trump while he is busy ranting on Twitter. This is a significant development. It would appear that Oliver's humorous takedown is not only making us laugh, but it is also having an effect on the opinions of several individuals. One might not have guessed that humor could be such a powerful weapon in the fight against those who aspire to be autocrats. The whirlwind that is Twitter has provided us with a number of opportunities to learn. Trump's response to criticism, on the other hand, reveals his authoritarian tendencies in addition to his thin skin. It would appear that he is of the opinion that the First Amendment is not truly a fundamental right, but rather merely a recommendation. In the United States of America under Trump's administration, it is important to keep in mind that comedy may be our last resort. Please, for the sake of democracy, do not allow the orange turd to emerge victorious, and continue to laugh to yourself and share those John Oliver clips. Ultimately, laughter is the most effective treatment, especially when Trumpism is the condition that is being treated.
That is focusing on his relationship with the world. Because while we were away, you may remember one particular remark he made.
According to the US president, Africa is a shithole.
He absolutely said that, except, to be fair to him, it's actually worse, because he reportedly called Africa, Haiti, and El Salvador shitholes, which is just not okay. And I personally have called Belgium a shithole multiple times, but in my defense, A, I'm not president, and B, Belgium is a loathsome chocolate gulag with no objective reason to exist.
With that being said, what exactly is Project 2025 that has Trump's toupee twisted? Put on your seatbelts, because you are about to embark on a wild ride through the orange-colored future of the United States of America. It is possible that if you were to hand a young child the keys to a candy store, the entire United States government would transform into the candy store. President Trump's Project 2025 is essentially an all-encompassing plan to turn the United States of America into his personal playground. Those who aspire to be autocrats have a wish list, and our sour Trumpy has fulfilled every single one of those wishes. Would you like to take a look at the specifics? The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration is the first government agency that President Trump advocates for the elimination of. When all is said and done, who requires accurate weather forecasts? Now that we are in Trump's America, I suppose we will just have to sit back, hope for the best, and look out the window. Are we about to be hit by a hurricane? So you're going to just blow it up? There is, however, more to come. The members of the federal workforce are going to be Trump's cheerleading squad, according to his plans. It is estimated that approximately 50,000 career civil servants would be reclassified as political appointees if his proposal were to be implemented. Taking this into consideration, it is clear that he possesses the power to dismiss anyone who does not worship Trump. Seemingly, he is attempting to establish a government that is comprised solely of yes men. Could it be that men who say, "Yes, sir, Mr. Trump, sir"? Those of you who thought that was terrible should hold on to your constitution, because President Trump is going to use it as a cocktail napkin from now on. Impoundment, which essentially grants him the authority to disregard what Congress has to say about spending, is something that he wants to bring back. It would appear that he is of the opinion that the separation of powers is not a fundamental component of our democratic system, but rather merely a recommendation. On the other hand, the insanity does not stop there. Furthermore, Donnie Diapers is advocating for the Food and Drug Administration to regulate abortion drugs without the approval of Congress. What could possibly be a more fitting way to exemplify the concept of small government than to instruct women on the ways in which they can use their body? The individuals who are responsible for this plan are referred to as a Legion of Doom. Undoubtedly, they are living up to the name that they have been given. The views that they hold are so extreme that they have the potential to completely transform the structure of the government. It would appear that they are attempting to recreate the lives of real people in SimCity. How can we use all of this information to better understand our orange companion? In a way that is fairly obvious, Project 2025 reveals Trump's complete disregard for democratic norms, as well as his desire for unchecked power. It's almost as if he thought to himself, "Nah, I can do better." After looking at the Constitution, as we near the conclusion of this nightmare fuel, you should ask yourself whether this is the America that we want, or whether it is just the plot of a low-quality reality show. Due to the fact that it is currently resembling The Apprentice White House edition, I question whether any of us actually signed up for that. We have laughed, we have cringed, and we have probably lost some brain cells as a result of our attempts to comprehend the tweets that Donald Trump has sent out. The issue is that John Oliver's roast of Trump is not only a hilarious comedy, but it is also a wake-up call. This gives rise to the problem. Even as our orange friend lashes out on Twitter, it is important to keep in mind that laughter may be the most effective defense against those who aspire to be autocrats. The situation is comparable to kryptonite in terms of their inflated egos. An additional point to consider is that research has shown that individuals who watch comedies about politics are more likely to engage in political discourse and vote. When you watch John Oliver, you get the impression that you are a superhero fighting for democracy. Having a cap is not necessary, and to that end, and people, keep laughing. You shouldn't let the antics of Donnie Diapers bring you down. Instead, you should share those videos and make those memes. Who will know? There is a possibility that your laughter is the secret weapon that will prevent America from becoming a reality show that is unsuccessful. After all, when it comes to the conflict between comedy and tyranny, I am on the side of the individual who has a British accent and seems to have better hair.